Hey guys, welcome to BP, the Bible Perspective. I'm confused. If God raised up Donald Trump to turn America back to God, then how can he appoint as his Director of National Intelligence an openly gay Christian? Now, before we get into this, please like and share this video and subscribe to BP, the Bible Perspective. And as always, if you have a comment or a question, feel free to add it in the comment section. All comments are welcome. Now, Christians are not shy in their support and in some cases their defense of Donald Trump. Now, to be clear, I'm not criticizing anyone who supports him because there are valid reasons why one may support any candidate. And when it comes to the evangelical Christian or conservative Christian, they have their reasons. Now, I'm going to get into some of those reasons in a moment. Now, also to be fair, and talking to some of my Christian brethren, one made a very fair point as to why he supports Donald Trump. He said, well, back in 2016 and during the campaign, he did oppose Donald Trump and he did support other candidates. But when Trump became the Republican nomination, he threw his support behind the Republican nomination. Now, that's a fair point. The problem I have with Christians is that they defend him. In other words, Trump violates all of the values they stand for, and yet they treat him as if he doesn't do that. They treat him as if he doesn't lie, that he's not an immoral person, that's bad characters. And by the way, he hasn't changed in the 3 years he's been in office. The very ungodly qualities that they highly criticized Clinton for, that they said that those immoral characteristics in Bill Clinton disqualified him from having their support. Now they embrace these qualities, or maybe more fairly, ignore these same ungodly qualities in Trump. In fact, they say, well, we didn't elect a pastor, or they'll say we elect a lion. We want somebody who is going to champion our causes. Now, I think that's kind of a contradiction, or there's a contradiction in logic there. This is what I mean. You're going to say that God has raised up an ungodly man to turn the country back to God. And how exactly will this ungodly man who is walking in darkness accomplish that? Well, when you look at all of the things that he has, to me, in my opinion, displayed, I think it disqualifies him for any support or certainly any defense. For example, you think about just from an American perspective. Think about great presidents before him, great Republican presidents before him, like Ronald Reagan. When Ronald Reagan stood toe-to-toe and said, Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Well, does Trump do that? Will Trump do that? Think about it. Trump stood in Helsinki and at other times has defended Putin. He said concerning the last presidential election, the interference by Russia, Trump said, well, Putin denied it, and I believed him. He sounded convincing. How in the world can conservatives put up with that? Okay? And that's just, of course, the tip of the iceberg. Now, I hear Christians defend Trump by saying, but he's championing our causes. But let's look at some of those causes that he's championed. In my opinion, you're kind of getting so cheap. But let's champion some of the ones that they say that these are the things that they are championing. One is he has moved the American embassy to Jerusalem, from Palestine to Jerusalem. And I'm going to say this. What significance is that? Even if you wanted to stretch that, there is no biblical significance at all. Okay, so Trump did it. Now, some of the other things that they said that he champions religious freedom. I'll say this again. We have never went through a Christmas season where there was never Christmas lights put up, Christmas trees, Christmas decorations, and no one walked around looking for the holiday police if they uttered Merry Christmas. It just didn't happen. And as I stated before in other videos, let me just say this. Yes, there is a fight going on because there are atheist groups and humanist groups that are trying to eradicate any resemblance of Christianity and Christian out of the public arena. And also, if they probably had their way, just out of existence, period. And so, yes, they are fighting. But that's a far cry from saying that we don't have religious freedom. This is another thing that they're championing. They're saying that Trump is for religious freedom. Well, what freedom is that? Or what freedoms don't you have? Well, even if he says that he is championing religious freedom, what does that mean? Okay, my point is, what does that mean? Well, the other issue is, of course, abortion. And this is one of the things that I really say, take a look at this. In Trump's first 2 years, when he had control of both the Congress and the Senate, why didn't he put forth a bill that would start the process of overturning Roe versus Wade, right? In other words, that's what it takes to institute law. For example, take slavery, right? You had to put forth a law, had to go through the Congress and the Senate to overturn slavery. Same thing with Jim Crow. And then these bills end up on the president's desk. He signs them and they become law. Here's my point. He never even tried. They never even said, hey, remember, we're God's warriors. We got a chance here. Mitch, start the process. Congress, Paul Ryan, start the process of overturning the abortion. They didn't even try. Why? It really wasn't their cause. You know, another issue is homosexuality or gay. And this, of course, brings us to his latest debacle. That if he was really for pro-family and all that, then why did Trump appoint an openly gay Christian? Now, I'm not going to get into the issue of can you be gay and Christian. That's another video. But the fact that he appointed one, I don't know. Does the Christian community, and of course they're mum on this, that no one is really saying anything about this, that some of the brethren that I talked with, I did get some to go, okay, yeah, that was foul. But the Christian leaders, think about this, his evangelical board that is supporting him, that's even saying that, hey, to oppose Trump is to oppose God. Well, if that's true, then should we oppose his appointment of an openly gay man? Should we oppose that? And by opposing that, are we opposing God? The problem I have, again, with a lot of my Christian brethren is their hypocritical stand on values. That, in other words, they're agenda-driven instead of biblically driven. And here's another thing. As I often say, Trump enjoys 85% of the Christian support. In fact, I think that number has even risen to like 90% now. Why don't they use that to say, behave, President? Behave, right? When will they wake up and realize that Trump needs them way more than they think they need him? Just like Democrats, right? Democrats need the black vote, right? Well, Trump needs the Christian vote in order to have a solid voting bloc. I'm going to challenge them, use that. They won't, but they could use that to say behave. Why don't we behave? That's my perspective, guys. Now, and don't forget to like and share this video and subscribe to BP the Bible Perspective. All right, see you next time.